For this first series of drawings that we're going to do, trying to reconnect your sense of vision to your sense of touch, we're going to draw completely blind. And we're going to need both hands, so I'm going to tape the paper down here. Notice also I'm not using the drawing board on this one. I want to have mobility of both my arms, and I'm not going to be looking at the paper anyways. So it's a little bit easier to have it taped down here. I'm going to go ahead and tape it down on the right hand side so that my hand doesn't actually make the paper come up. Just a little bit of tape there. All right, now my paper's not going to move. We'll go ahead and tape the left side too. Why? What we're going to do is you're going to close your eyes, so you're not going to be able to look at the object. You're going to put one finger on whatever you're drawing, and like with the hand-eye coordination videos, instead of moving your hand with your eye, you're going to move your hand with your finger. So this is, we'll eventually move to take the finger out of it and get to the hand-eye coordination, but I want to connect your vision to your sense of touch. Your eyeballs are really moving around reality, touching over it, remember, grabbing little bits of information. So we want one finger on the object. We don't want to grope at the object like that. That's too many points of information. We want this finger to coordinate with the tip of the pen. So if my finger moves in a circle, my hand moves in a circle. If my finger goes up, over, all right, they'll coordinate like that. Now you have an extra problem of this is a three-dimensional object, so as I move around the back, you're gonna have to figure out, well, what is that three-dimensional, moving down, moving up, moving back over, up over the top. How do those movements translate into the two dimensions of the paper? So the assignment is for 10 minutes, set a timer on your phone. You're going to close your eyes. They got to stay closed the whole time. You're going to put your finger on the object and just start moving. Now, you're not trying to draw the object. They should move at the same speed. What you're trying to do is draw the motion of your finger over the object. Notice I'm not really sticking to edges, so I'm not edge detecting. I'm going around the back of the object. Oh, I skipped there. Now I'm going inside of the object. And if the object moves, that's fine. Like if it does that, that's fine. Remember, I'm just drawing the path of my finger across the object. And I'm going to touch it in some non-standard ways. I'm going to not edge detect. All right, so I'm not going to do this for the whole 10 minutes. But I don't want to just go around edges. If you're edge detecting, you're trying to figure out what the object is. Remember, when we looked at the saccadic eye movements, the eye and brain tends to ignore large areas and fill that and just make assumptions about that area. We want to touch all over the object and get those things that we would normally ignore. So I might even put my finger here and just spiral out or move back and forth across, up and down, and all around the object. It's really, this is about tracking the motion of your finger over the object. It's not about trying to draw the object. You'll see that mine doesn't really look like the skull at all. That's fine. If the thing stays stable and you do a good job, it will look like a pretty three-dimensional representation of the thing. But if you had all the time in the world and you really did this right, the whole thing would just be completely black because you'd have touched it every which way and it's all offended at you and trying to get your fingers out of my eyes here, buddy. And the whole thing would be colored in because you've traced every possible path multiple times. So set a timer, do that for 10 minutes. It's going to be really difficult to not open your eyes. It's going to be really difficult not to think about what you're drawing, especially because you've seen it, you've picked it out. But really try and stick with it. Keep your eyes closed. Don't worry about what it is. It's the motion of your finger being recorded.